as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the countryside. For unsuspecting friends approached the ominous structure known as the Forgotten Manor. Its stone facade was cloaked in ivy, its windows boarded up like watchful eyes turned blind with time. Locals whispered tales of malevolent spirits and tragic history surrounding the manor. On this night, however, these four friends would come to experience the haunting truth that lay within its walls. Lena, a budding historian with an insatiable curiosity, had heard stories of the Forgotten Manor's past, a cursed bloodline, a forbidden love, and a series of unsolved disappearances. She convinced her friends to join her on a weekend adventure, eager to unearth the secrets hidden within the old manor. The group consisted of James, the fearless leader with a penchant for the supernatural, Michael, a skeptic who prided himself on his rationality, and Sophie, the sensitive artist who could feel the unseen forces that surrounded them. As the friends approached the manor, the temperature dropped noticeably, and an eerie silence enveloped them. Sophie shivered, sensing a presence that seemed to whisper through the rustling leaves. Michael chuckled, dismissing her unease as mere nerves. James, however, was excited by the ominous atmosphere, eager to confront the unknown. With Lena leading the way, they entered the manor through a cracked side door, their flashlights cutting through the inky darkness. The air inside was heavy with the scent of damp wood and decay, and their footsteps echoed through the cavernous hallways. The manor's interior was a tapestry of forgotten grandeur, with peeling wallpaper and rotting furniture. Portraits of somber-looking ancestors adorned the walls, their eyes seemingly following the intruders. The friends exchanged uneasy glances as the weight of the manor's history pressed upon them. As the night deepened, they set up camp in a desolate, dust-covered sitting room. Michael attempted to lighten the mood with jokes and banter, but the oppressive atmosphere of the manor soon stifled their laughter. Even James's enthusiasm waned, replaced by a creeping sense of unease. Sophie, however, couldn't ignore the strange sensations that seemed to intensify with each passing hour. She had felt the presence before entering the manor, but now it was stronger than ever. She began to sketch the room in her journal, hoping to capture the unseen forces she sensed. As the clock struck midnight, the manor seemed to come alive. Whispers echoed through the hallways, indistinct but undeniable. Shadows flickered at the edges of their vision, and cold drafts brushed against their skin. James's bravado wavered, and even Michael couldn't conceal his unease. In the darkness, Lena revealed a piece of the manor's dark history she had discovered in her research, a forbidden love affair between two members of the cursed bloodline. The love had been deemed a betrayal of the family's legacy, and the consequences were said to be dire. As Lena recounted the tragic tale, a chilling wind swept through the room, extinguishing their candles and plunging them into darkness. Panic set in as they fumbled for their flashlights, but even the beams of light couldn't penetrate the blackness that seemed to press against them. The room was no longer empty. Spectral figures materialized around them, lovers torn apart by the curse, their faces etched with sorrow. Sophie's sketchbook fell from her trembling hands as she watched the spirits reach out to one another, their fingers grazing but never quite touching. The room seemed to throb with a malevolent energy, and James, his voice quivering, called out to the spirits, begging for answers. In response, the manor's walls seemed to breathe, the house itself becoming a living entity. Suddenly, Lena collapsed to the floor, her eyes rolled back, and her body convulsing. Michael and Sophie rushed to her side, Nick seizing them. James, his fear overtaken by determination, shouted at the spirits, demanding they release their friend. The spirits, their anguish palpable, hesitated, their spectral forms wavering. It was Sophie who understood their pain. She spoke softly, offering solace and understanding, and the spirits slowly released Lena from their grip. As Lena regained consciousness, she whispered a name, Eleanor. It was the name of the woman from the cursed bloodline who had defied her family's wishes for love. The spirits, hearing her name, began to fade, their torment eased by Sophie's empathy. The room returned to darkness, and the oppressive atmosphere lifted. The group decided to leave the Forgotten Manor, their adventure cut short by the encounter with the restless spirits. As they stepped back into the moonlit night, the manor seemed to sigh in relief, as if grateful for their understanding. The friends walked away, forever changed by their night in the Forgotten Manor. They had confronted the malevolent forces that dwelled within, but they had also discovered the power of empathy and compassion, and in the darkness of that old manor, the spirits of the past had found a momentary respite, a glimmer of hope in their eternal torment.